Welcome to Popcorn Planet. I am Andy Signore, and disgraced Empire star Jussie Smollett is on trial this week. Sadly, we don't have cameras in the court, so we're a little delayed in giving you the information. But man, yesterday they dropped something juicy. Jussie Smollett was caught on video staging a dry run of the alleged hoax. Just when you couldn't dislike this guy anymore, this comes out. Look, I'm not a fan of Jussie. I'm not a fan of anybody who lies, gets away with it, and then makes it harder for actual victims. There's a lot of cases have been going by that have inspired me. People who actually deserve to apologize that still haven't. And the people that have enabled them all should be just ashamed in what they've done. Personally, my own little personal knock there aside, Jussie Smollett is one of those guys. Jussie Smollett is the ego of this guy to continuously try to play like he's innocent and did nothing is just so infuriating as more and more evidence drops and things he's losing and everything's happening. The dude just can't admit and take accountability. It's crazy. And so this doesn't surprise me at all, the fact that he's now caught. He keeps trying to explain himself and justify his actions as if these guys were out to get me. Dude, your story doesn't make any sense. You're caught, dude. Why were you with these guys at the same intersection days before? And before I even get to because we don't have the actual video here, before I get to the breakdown of what they played in court yesterday, the fact is this isn't the first time this has happened. Like, if you really go back in this case to really get to the truth of the matter and why I'm not a fan of this guy and why I believe he's going to lose this week, this is him 4 days before in the alleyway pulling up behind the brothers' apartment, the alleged attackers, the people who did it. Here he is showing up to their house, all sketchily behind the back alley. It's just very weird. And so what's really the latest information here is that the defense attorney says, the prosecutor says that the brothers will testify. Their testifying will say that days before the incident, Smollett texted him asking for help on the low. The two talked later in Smollett's car, with the actor telling him specifically he wanted them to shout racial epithet and MAGA to make it seem like the assailants were racist supporters of President Trump. I want you to attack me, but when you hit me, I want you to kind of pull your punches a bit because I don't want to get seriously hurt, Webb said Smollett told the brothers. Smollett also instructed them to put a rope around his neck to make it more like a lynching, like a hate crime. The three men went on a dry run before the attack, part of which was captured on surveillance camera. Webb said Smollett's Mercedes can be seen circling the Streeterville intersection, showing the brothers the area where he wanted the attack to occur. Now, you can say that you were... I don't know how you justify this. Oh, I know these guys, they were trying to make it worse for me. Why were you circling the intersection days before the incident happened? That makes no sense. Dude, you're up against the wall because you're caught. Just come clean, man. It'll free you, dude. It'll free you. Get it out there. No one's ever going to be able to trust you again or work with you until you can actually take accountability. The fact that you're caught in your car circling the intersection with the brothers at the same area, it's insane. You're insane, dude. I don't get and then what's even more insane as you go through it all is, he's saying that Jussie was not a person who liked attention. Even the publicist was frustrated with this for him. That makes no sense because they also say that it was a rush to judgment was the word here. Headlines that say this was a tremendous rush to judgment. Everyone rushed to defend, just accuse him, but that's a complete lie because even the prosecutor's like, dude, we put the full force of the department on the case. They had 26 officers and detectives working, tallying over 3,000 man hours. Like, I remember that period. Everyone believed Jussie Smollett in the beginning. Everybody. Vice president, the president, celebrities, they're on talk shows going off about it. Elliot Page at the time did a whole thing about how horrifying it was. He was getting everything he wanted. And then when the investigation proved that it wasn't exactly what he said, yeah, they started looking more into it. And that's when you got nervous. That's when you got worried. And then somehow, which I still don't even understand, somehow the Cook County, in a stunning move, Cook County prosecutors quietly dropped the charges shortly after Smollett's formal indictment, causing mass confusion and an outcry that ultimately led to special prosecutor's appointment. Webb and his team have brought a new indictment charge against Smollett just before the pandemic hit. It just, this guy couldn't just get away with it. When this happened and the charges were quietly dropped, he was out there declaring his innocence again. Oh, I told y'all. And you had all these cops and everyone was like, whoa, bro, whoa, slow down. No, not going to get away. And you know what? I'm so grateful for them for doing that. I'm so grateful for them doing it because I'm still so just frustrated that I didn't make more of a reason to do it myself when someone lied about me and still to this day does, and so many people cover up for. It just sickens me. Like I'm over it in a way, but I'm angry still in this unjustness. Like, this is an injustice when people lie about such serious things, and then everyone around them just sort of gets quiet and doesn't fess up and acknowledge, I was wrong. I shouldn't be so quick to judge. That statement wasn't true. When you're not able to do that, you make it so much worse for actual victims. And that's what really bugs me. It really, really bugs me. And the reason I brought this up, it's in a related sort of case. The author of The Lovely Bones accused this guy, and it took forever for this guy. He never gave up, and he finally got it overturned. And now the author has had to apologize. The book's going to go out of print, yada, yada, yada. But this happens all the time. And when people are, and in that instance, she sort of was forced to apologize because the court sort of made it happen. But in this case with Jussie, I'm so glad that we are pushing this to happen because this shouldn't be allowed. Where this gets even more stunning to me and just Jussie's ridiculousness is that I didn't even realize, I want to make sure I have this here correctly. By the time that, for his zeal of attention, the prosecutor says Smollett even tampered with the rope his accomplices put around his neck to make it look worse. By the time the police got there, Mr. Smollett had moved the knot closer to his throat. They pointed to surveillance photo that showed the actor walking up to the steps the night of the incident with the rope dangling. He wanted it to look more serious. So apparently they could tell that the knot was lower as he was entering his apartment. And then I guess Jussie doesn't realize we have footage of him in the apartment. I didn't actually see this until I was doing my homework today. But here's the police showing up to the apartment.
So I explained to him how you were going.
He's in a sweater. And he's still got it around his neck, and it's now tighter. He's tightened it around his neck, but he doesn't want attention. And then the cop's like, do you want to take this off?
The reason I called it because of this shit. Let's not forget. Okay.
You want to take it off or anything?
Yeah, I do. I just wanted you to see it.
Yeah, I do. I just wanted you all to see it. And then what's so interesting about this, they have their body cameras on, which is like legal protocol to protect them. The cams are to protect them. And then him and his assistant, I don't know if his assistant or somebody's there, are like, well, can you turn them off?
You're filming us, right?
You're filming.
Yeah, this is all being if you want, if it's in his house.
They're filming you.
They're filming you.
You're being audio.
So? Isn't that a good thing? Why is it bad they're filming him?
Like audio, I guess when they just know when they're walking into I don't want to be filmed. Okay, so
I don't want to be filmed.
We can turn it off?
Yeah, you're giving us permission to shut it off?
Now, I love that this cop's even like, all right, you're telling us, you're giving us your permission to turn this off. Because now it's going to be a he said, she said with the cops and him. Who tells the officers to turn the cameras off? I mean, especially in the racial divide and everything in the country, wouldn't you want that camera rolling to make sure that anything said there is held as the truth? Or would you like the cameras off so you can tell your story and then change it later, yada, yada, yada? Dude, not a fan of this guy. This guy's everything that piles up against this guy. And as we're seeing now in this case, more and more piles up. Dude, just take the L. Now, the city wants to try and get a little money on this, and it's interesting watching which sort of newspapers are reporting on this and sort of taking the L because a lot of people sort of ran with it. I don't know anything about that. People just run with a story. Aaron Couch, the Hollywood Reporter. They don't even want to retract or change things. They never want egg on their face. But this story is very just interesting to me because they're pushing for it. They're pushing for the facts and the truth, not Jussie's truth, the truth to come forward. And the fact that he's caught on more surveillance cameras and everything else, doing dry runs. Dude, Jussie, it's over. You can still get redemption. Everybody can get redemption. Everybody can. Felons get to go work again after they serve their time. But you got to take accountability. You got to serve your time. You got to admit to what you did wrong. And dude, you keep trying to say you had no involvement in this. With all the stuff that keeps piling up and proving, you look just so stupid. You know you're caught. Why don't people... I've been there. When you're caught, a liar gets caught. They do whatever they can to keep digging. But you'd think at a certain point, this guy would realize this is not helping his case. You gotta own it and then plead for forgiveness. And eventually some will, and a lot of people won't. But until you do that, you're never going to find any light or positivity until you actually own up to what you did. So Jussie, we're paying attention. The trial will be this week. We'll see what happens. I will keep you guys posted. If you want more updates on this case, hit that subscribe button, hit the bell for all alerts, smash that like button, leave a comment down below. What do you think of this case? Do you think Jussie could still get off? Do you think enough of this is still piling up that we'll finally get the truth and get him to have to take accountability for this? Or do you think he's going to be deemed guilty and still claim his innocence? I want to hear your thoughts down below. Thank you guys so much for watching. We'll be live today around 1 o'clock p.m. Usually, you might even just push it to 1 o'clock. We're always live between 12 and 1 Eastern Standard Time here on Popcorn Planet. Lots to discuss.